If you are a consultant and you've only been consuming videos on YouTube or not posting with consistency or a plan or a strategy, you could be leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. And so in this video, I wanted to tell you very clearly why you need YouTube. I've had these conversations in the real world a lot recently, and I wanted to break it down. I realized some people didn't realize some of this stuff, and this video could change everything for you. If you are a consultant, if you have a business, any type of business really, but I want to talk to the consultants for a minute here. So first of all, you have to ask yourself, do I have a YouTube presence? Do I have any presence at all? Do I post at all? If you don't post, let me change your mind about that, getting you to post, because it's really, really important that you do. And if you do post, but you're not seeing any real results, you may be like, this isn't really working for me. I'm going to go back to LinkedIn. All good. But let me tell you why and how you can change that to where you have actual real results. Now, the first thing I want you to know, if you didn't already, is that YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. It is only second to its owner, Google, and it works hand in hand. And so today, what people are doing, they're like people who are your ideal clients. Think about who your ideal client is, the best type of client. You love working with them. They're no hassle to you. They pay on time. Think about that person or that avatar in your mind right now. They are not going to TikTok or Instagram to look for services. They're not going there. They're going there to be entertained or to maybe learn about things in the world, but they're certainly not going there to look for, oh, let me find the next person who's going to be my business coach or who's going to consult me on something very niche. They are probably spending some time on LinkedIn doing so, and we can see that in our results when we post on LinkedIn. But there, even that has its limits, right? It's really, LinkedIn does a great job of getting your posts out to the people who follow you. I think it does a fantastic job of that. But when's the last time you had something viral happen, or not even viral, but to have that instant kind of trust that's built when you're typing for the most part, when you're doing text, that trust takes a lot longer to build than video. So then you have Instagram and TikTok, but those videos for the most part are very short. So when you're trying to get the 7 hours or whatever they say in marketing that you need to build trust with someone, with a customer, that takes a lot longer and is a lot more fleeting. So by the end of this video, I want you to know why YouTube is your best strategy. Um, when you rely only on referrals, word of mouth, some of that social media and paid ads, I mean, come on, like how much money have you spent on paid ads? I know that probably triggered you, maybe if you spend a lot, like paid ads to go into what you're doing. It's paid ads have their merit. But usually that's only when it's something very solid, very solid. I put in $100, I get 200 back, or I put in $100, I get 300 back. If you don't have that type of paid ad consistency, and even if you do, what would it be like if instead of doing paid ads and spending that money and having that return on it, that profit margin be 50% or 30%? Wouldn't it be cooler if the profit margin were like 90% because you're spending that money on maybe a fractional assistant or a fractional customer service officer, right? This is where you can start to really change things because it's not just about making more money and bringing more money in, which you will, because I'm going to tell you how, but it's also about making more money per customer that you already get or that you get. Does that make sense? Like if it makes sense, let me know in the comments because what we're talking about is a lot of times when we're relying on paid ads, the number can feel good to us. We can say, "Oh, I'm doing 50,000 a month. I'm doing 20,000 a month." But how much of that did you have to pay to get that gross amount? A lot of times that's 30 to 70% of somebody's of somebody's expenses. And if that's you, I want you to really lean in because that struggle does not have to be the struggle. You can either replace paid ads with this method, or you can just complement paid ads. And especially when it comes to retargeting. When you do retargeting ads, you spend a lot less. You reach people who literally have already seen you, so you're catching them the second to 10th time, which makes them more likely to click on or to do what you're asking them to do, your call to action. And you're also just kind of putting yourself back in front of the people who were already a little interested in you. So that cold ad side of things can actually go away if you make YouTube work well for you. And you can make YouTube work well for you even if you've never posted a video on it. If you think about if you're a little skeptical and you think about the trajectory that I've had, and this is as of March 2025. I in March of 2024 would have had, I don't know, 10,000 subscribers, maybe less than that, maybe less than that, maybe 8,000 subscribers. I now have, in March of 2025, I now have like 134,000, 135,000. And that's more than 100,000 subscribers. And each of these subscribers is very valuable. That most of them, I would say 95% or more of them, this is the important part, did not know me before they became subscribers. It wasn't like they knew me from other things that I've done, and then they said, oh, let me go find her YouTube channel. Some people did, of course, a few hundred, but the 100,000 plus did not. They saw me show up on their YouTube homepage, just like YouTube is doing for millions of channels, because it is in YouTube's best interest to get new and established channels, so all channels that are quality, in front of more people so that those people will watch more videos and stay on YouTube longer. That is what the whole game is about. So it's highly incentivized, and that's its method. You have a TikTok and an Instagram where when you post something, it could go viral, it could do something really cool. And I love posting on Instagram, don't get me wrong. But think about when if you posted something in the last month on Instagram, or maybe a month, 2 months ago. What did you post, first of all? Can you remember it? And second of all, where is it? What is it bringing you? Is it bringing you anything? And I'm going to guess that it's not, because what happens is that post is fleeting. That post is in that time period. Maybe 24 hours, 3 days later, Instagram may sweep it back up and it may go back out. I've had some videos go crazy viral on Instagram, and they're going to still get, thousands of views every day, but it's still kind of tucked away in the background. No one's really talking about it. No one's leaving comments. It's not interactive. It's just kind of feeding the beast. With YouTube, there are videos that I put up a year ago or 6 months ago or 3 months ago that I'm still receiving very thoughtful comments about. You, in fact, may have found me through a video I put up 8 months ago, watched that, enjoyed it, and said, let me go see what else on this topic she has, and searched around. Either click through the end card, which is something we will talk about, and at another time, which is like this really interesting way to keep people looking at your videos, or you just kind of click through. Let me go look at the channel. Let me go look at the playlist. Let me look at this thing over here that was recommended to me. This is an evergreen platform. And I can't stress enough how important and valuable YouTube is right now. It probably has been for a decade and I just missed it. But I always saw it in the background. I never looked at it as something that was like the bedrock of my company. And it absolutely has become that. It has driven hundreds of thousands of dollars to me in the past 6 months, in the past 8 months. And it continues to on a day-to-day basis, not just money, but incredibly engaged people in my ecosystem. Like that is so valuable. It's so incredibly valuable. And there's a community that's even being built. So relying solely on referrals and word of mouth and paid ads and other social media, all of that is great to have, but I think if you want to have something sustainable, this should be the centerpiece of what you do. Now, if you're still with me, that's good. Some of these videos, I'll tell you kind of some inside information. So I make generally three types of videos. Let me know if you want to know what types of videos I make. Put it in the comments. I make three types of videos. Get your pen out, get your laptop out. The first type of video that I make, and I do this and I pepper them in different ways, but the first type of video I make is a growth video. The second type of video I make is a conversion video, and the third is a celebration video. And I go into in depth of what this means inside of Arlan's All Access, which is where I teach you how to build your YouTube channel from scratch or how to optimize it for the most monetization if you already have one. People every single day are posting their wins. They posted their first video, they got their first 1,000 subscribers, they got their first 10,000 subscribers, they made their first sales call from a YouTube video, all kinds of things like that inside of Arlan's All Access. So go to arlansallaccess.com. There's a link most likely in the description. If it's not, just look up arlansallaccess.com. And I teach those three types of videos and why they're so important, when to use which type, and what exactly they are, what it means. So for instance, with my growth videos, I know how to make a video now. It took me years, but I now know how to make a video that will get 50,000 views or more whenever I want to. This is not that video. That's the reason I brought this up. This is not that video. This is a conversion video. This is a deep dive video that is meant to maybe 1,000, 2,000, maybe 5,000 eventually. People will see it. And it's the right people seeing it. It's the people who are consultants. It's the people um, who have been thinking about YouTube or maybe can be convinced about YouTube. Because ultimately, what I want is I want as many of us to win as possible, right? So I want as many of us to win as possible. That is my why. And then I have offers for you, depending on what your budget is or your needs are or kind of your vibe. I'll teach you this stuff and you go out and implement it, which is Arlan's All Access, where I'll teach you about YouTube and other things, which is like $1,000 a year at this time. A really kind of low barrier to entry for any consultant, $1,000. It's probably a $2,500 to $5,000 offer, but I make it accessible. So I have that. And then I also have a way to do this for you, to co-produce your YouTube channel for you. And I just launched that, and it's depending on when you see this, but I just launched it in March of 2025. I'm taking on like a handful of clients because this isn't something that scales. It's where I work one-on-one with clients and who are consultants, who are medical professionals, executives, et cetera, startup companies. And for $5,000 today, again, this number could go up, but for $5,000 only, I launch your YouTube channel for you, or I optimize it. I give you a ton of stuff that I do for you, or that I have somebody do, but I oversee it and I co-produce your channel. And so this is to show you what is possible. So what happens is every day I get leads from YouTube, and those leads from YouTube videos click on and they set up a call with somebody who is an active user, a current user who's paying to be on Arlan's All Access. And that's because I have a link in the description below. And they get to talk to that person and say, what's it like to be in there? Tell me these are the questions I have. And that's really my sales team, which is awesome, right? Like the current members are my sales team because they like it so much. And that is driven by these YouTube videos, these mostly conversion YouTube videos, the second type I told you about. And then every day, people click in now because I just launched it, but every day, for the past several days, people click in and they want to book a call with me to learn more about my YouTube studio where I co-produce channels for $5,000. And this happens while I'm asleep. This happens while I'm, watching TV. This happens while I'm working with clients. It's like having a setter, setters that kind of set up your calls. It's like having a VSL, a video sales letter. It's like having a sales team without you doing anything extra or paying anything extra. I'm hoping that I'm convincing you a little bit to use YouTube. Whether you work with me or not, you need to use YouTube. Let me just tell you, you need to use YouTube. You need to at least try it. You need to attempt it as your evergreen lead generation. The cool thing about it is even if you put up 5 or 10 videos and you just hate it and you never come back to it, you still have those videos that will be picked up over time. And it does take a little time to build it. Let me be clear with you. It mostly does not happen overnight. You do have to feed it a little bit, put paint on the canvas, give YouTube a chance to understand your channel and use its, algorithm to understand who you're trying to reach and all of that. But I've seen it happen time and time and time again with people who have never posted on YouTube before. They'll post one video, two, three, four, five, maybe 10, maybe 20, and then they'll have a video that just skyrockets. And I also want to be clear that you don't have to have a video go viral for this all to work. Because just imagine if what would it be like if you had, let's say you had every single day, you had a room full of 50 people. Like you woke up, maybe you have a place you go to work, maybe you work from home, but you had a place right down the street that was full of 50 people sitting in chairs in front of you with their notebooks out, with their full attention, waiting to listen to you give a speech for 30 minutes every single day, 7 days a week. And they were your ideal client. What would that do to change your company? Imagine it. You close your eyes and imagine that every single day. What would that do to change your company? That is the power of YouTube. And I didn't say, you notice I didn't say 1,000 people waiting for hear you or 20,000 people. I said 50. So if 50 new people discovered you every single day and were ready to be your students and hear what you had to say, what you had to share with them, which is value, you're going to give them value in your niche. How would that being in front of them change your business? And imagine every single day, those 50 people were gaining trust in you, building trust in your authority about a topic. Whatever you teach today, whatever you've coached, whatever you've already made, whatever you've already accomplished, every single day, 50 new people. I'm just using that number because it's very, very realistic. Every single day they were developing, and then the next 50, and then the next 50. And those previous people were then coming in and sitting in the back, or you know what I mean? They're just getting more and more. They're getting replays and more of your content. And it's stacking on itself rather than this fleeting, oh, what did she say and who was that? That happens on these other channels. So I'm not even talking about shorts. You may be wondering about YouTube shorts. Should you use those? You can use those sparingly. I teach you about that in All Access. I also do those for you. Shorts are not the play for most people. For some people, they are the play, but they're for 90% of people, especially consultants, they're not the play. They're the play. The play is to use this free resource called YouTube and relaunch essentially, a whole arm of your business that is killing it for you. Because these clients of yours, when they do the call to action, when they click to go to set up a call with you, or they go do an application that's hopefully not very frictionful, when they go to buy your course or get your book or do whatever your call to action is, they're going to come pre-sold on your expertise. They're just going to have a few questions, but those questions aren't going to be like, what do you do and who are you and what have you done in the, it's going to be more like, does this work for my exact company? And what you can do with YouTube is to already tell them, yeah. You also think about when I talked about those 50 people in the room, imagine you didn't have to go out and tell them to come there. They just showed up. They just showed up because they were like, I hope I can get in. I hope I can be one of those 50 people. That is the power of YouTube too, because you're not chasing people. You're not chasing them down, selling them something. They're finding you. Just like you found this video. If you're watching this video right now, in the first 4 hours of this video being out, it's going to get a few hundred views, most likely. Most likely. It'll get a few hundred views, and you're one of them, most likely, like watching this, or you may watch it a year from now, which is the beauty of YouTube. I keep going in a circle, but it's just so true. And I'm not saying, please watch my video. You're watching. If you made it to this part of the video, you're a small percent. You're maybe 20 or 30% of the people who started the video. You're now watching, and that's what's going to happen to your videos. You're going to have a certain amount of people, call it 50 people, who start watching your video. And then every 30 seconds or so, somebody's going to drop off, depending on how long the video is, depending on all the things that I teach you how to do in your video to keep the retention, to hook people in, to click on it to begin with. And then you're going to have people like yourself right now in this moment who have stayed on for several minutes, 20 minutes in, maybe. I don't know, maybe it's 20 minutes in, who have stayed on and who are like, yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down and I want more. And I'm going to go and reach out to you. I'm going to lean into you. So this is what I teach people in All Access. This is what I teach my one-on-one clients. I have a few consulting clients who are celebrities, and I don't reveal who they are unless they want to be revealed. And it's so interesting to me that I have to, like, these are people who are used to being on camera and used to that, and they still have to be sort of convinced that YouTube is the play. But once they see it, once they see that one action, that one thing that changed for them, it's a wrap. They're like, first of all, why wasn't I doing this forever? And that's a regret you don't need to have. But second of all, it's wow, I know exactly what I want to talk about. And I'm so excited to have worldwide classroom this worldwide classroom, or entertainment hall or whatever it is that they happen to be doing. And there's the ones that are there, there are people who we've never heard of before, and they're making tens of thousands of dollars per month. What would making 20,000? Oh no, let me do it this way. What would 2xing your current revenue, your current income? What would 2xing your current income do for you? What would 4xing it do for you? What would 10xing it do for you? There are 3 things you need to know. I'm going to teach you right now so that no matter if we work together or not, you know this and you can kind of go off and make this happen. The first thing is like the next 3 things you need to do, basically, if you want to do this on your own. The first one is you need to pick the right content strategy. And you're not selling people, right? These aren't commercials you're making. You're making valuable videos. And the way you can think about it is, what would I have put into a paid course? And I know that sounds a little scary because you're like, well, if I give it away for free, what am I selling? You're selling the implementation of it. You're giving away for free the information and you're selling the implementation. You're selling like I'm just telling you, Arlan's All Access. I have systems in there, like our plug and play. You copy it and you paste it. You learn this thing. You side by side. We work together every day in a group setting. You're implementing it there. I can't do that on YouTube. I can't do the full breadth of the community and the live sessions and the postings and all the vaults of information. I can't do that on YouTube. That's inside of our Arlan's All Access. It costs $1,000 a year. It's just real easy, quick play, boom. But it lasts a year. The implementation of working with me one-on-one, where I tell you, This is what you record. This is what your channel should be called. This is who you should have on it if you're doing interviews. This is when you should post it. These are the titles. This is the thumbnail. I'm going to hand you the thumbnails because I'm not going to teach you how to do the thumbnails. I'm just going to do it for you. These are the analytics. This is my time. This is us working together. And it's when people get on these calls with me, by the way, you might be one of them, so it'd be funny. But when they get on the call, they go, "It's you." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm on the call because I'm the one doing the work. I'm not making the thumbnails, but I'm overseeing them. But everything else, it's me. I'm actually typing the words and telling you what to post. I'm on the calls with you. We're working one-on-one. That's just $5,000. And that's my new Arlan's YouTube studio. So for you, you're going to find that right content strategy where you don't need to sell, you just provide value. Okay. One way to do this, because YouTube is the second largest search engine, is to go through keywords. Start doing like a search for a topic in your lane on Google and let it auto finish and see what people are searching. Did you know that when you type in a word, I don't want to talk down to you, but if you didn't know this, I didn't know this. If you start typing in a word or a phrase and Google starts to finish it for you, it's because it's giving you the top searches that are in the world, right? So if you start typing like back pain 4, and then it says the next word at the top of that, that's kind of ranked as how popular these phrases are. So if you just go and start looking through Google, doing the same thing on YouTube, same thing happens on YouTube. You start typing in and people start. But you'll notice on Google, YouTube videos, by and large, are the top things that are listed. They're the top ranked things in a lot of cases. So that's one way you can start to think about in my lane, in my niche, very, very singular, not broad. What are some topics that are being searched for? Therefore, I can answer those questions. Another thing you can do is to think about what your number one and number two questions are asked of you on a day-to-day basis. I know mine. Will you give me money to invest in my company? And, how do I hire? I have a whole list of what I get asked all the time. So I know exactly what to make my videos about. This is something that you can do. Is just to get started. It's like write down 2, 3, 4 things that your topics could be about. The second thing is you're going to try to hook your audience immediately with your formula, like you're showing your authority instantly. So one of the things that I see people do, and it breaks my heart a little bit when I see it because I'm like, oh, this video could have been so great, and they obviously put a lot of thought into the contents of this video, but very few people are going to see it or watch the full thing, even if they click on it. Because think about it, even if you have, like, you see somebody has 1,000 views, you don't know how long those people stayed on the video. So that doesn't show you the retention. It shows you in the back end and the dashboard, but doesn't show us. And what they do that breaks my heart is that they'll do this. Okay, ready for this? Okay, this is the beginning of the video. Hey, how you doing? Welcome back. It's great to see you. Oh my God, there's the cat. Okay, I know I have a cat. Okay, okay. And then they'll play like a 20-second like intro, like they're like some sitcom. They'll play and they'll show their logo. And I'm not trying to make fun of you if this is what you do. I'm just trying to show you these are things that do not keep people engaged, especially if they don't know you from Adam. And most of the people you're trying to attract don't know you. So you have to cut all that out. And this is something you build over time. You build this instinct and this talent. It's in the skill. You're not going to know this immediately, but I'm trying to save you some time. Get right to it. Like what you can do is after this video finishes, just rewind it and go back to the beginning and see how I started my video. And if you stayed to this part, to hear this part, there's a reason. Okay? I know it's all like meta and all that, but there's a reason. Because I hooked you. I told you what we're going to talk about, and I told you how it applies to you and why you should care and all of that because it's about you and it's not about me. So for you, it's about your potential client, your ideal audience, the people you want to learn from you. It's not about you. So it's not about your cat. It's not about, oh, my mic is falling. It's not about how cute my logo is. It's not about any of that. if you want people to care and stick around. So you're going to teach, like I said before, you're going to teach something that you would have put in a paid course. It's going to feel a little bit like you're giving away stuff for free. That's how it should feel. Because I promise you, if you give away value, you come with the fire. If you know you have that fire, you're going to bring in people who just constantly have a stream of potential clients and leads. Okay. So you're going to teach frameworks. You're going to give methods out. You're going to do that. And you don't have to like recreate the wheel every single video. What I see a lot of people do is that they'll give everything away in one video. Instead of like make one video, like outline for yourself. And then no matter what the outline is, chop that into 3 parts. Say, okay, that's great. It's really cool, but I'm actually going to make this 3 videos. The point of that is not to give everything away in one video. And then what you could do too is you could also send people into lead magnets directly from your descriptions, your pinned comments. How many of you, like, do you pin your comments? I'm going to pin my comment. And if I don't, put it in the comments that I messed up. I'm going to put a pinned comment that says, hey, this is how you do this, what I talked about in the video. I'm going to put it in my description. I'm going to give you an opportunity to come find me if you want. And sometimes I'm going to even put across the bottom of the screen on text this URL, right? That's what you can do. You can offer this can be like this ultimate traffic for a lead magnet. And then I also teach in Arlan's All Access on the other side of that traffic, what your ultimate lead magnet should be. And I'll spoiler alert, again, you don't have to work with me. It's memberships. It's a free membership, but that's just one of many, honestly. What I have seen work extremely well, especially if you have something that you have already established, and that's who I'm talking to right now, is you make a great video that's super helpful. Like I hope you think this one is. You put in the description and maybe you say it out loud. There's something in the description. There's a link to get to know me better, blah, 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 or ask me questions. You take them straight into a Calendly or straight into a Zoom, but Calendly works really well and it's Black owned, which you gotta love. Let me know if you knew that in the comment. And you have some open dates, the next 3 days out, the next week out, and you have a lot of times open. They're not all going to get filled necessarily, but you want to give people a lot of options. That's something I learned from Hormozy, Alex Hormozy, if you're familiar. He's interesting because he's done a lot of sales, obviously hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. And he's like, don't be precious about that time. Because I used to do that. I used to be like, oh, it can only be between these 2 hours because it's so precious. He's like, make it easy for people to book a call with you. Put a lot of hours there and, come back to, and so it made a lot of sense to me. So that's what I do. So if you don't see a lot of time on the calendar when you click through, it's because it's either I don't have any time that day, or it's because it's been booked. But now you'll see so many, especially on the ones for Arlen's All Access. And that's a whole other thing. Like, just for a side note, because I know that you have a consulting company. This might be interesting for you. So I'm doing something really cool where I'm having my current members as my sales team. They're using their affiliate link when they're talking to people. So they get compensated for bringing people in. But you could have that conversation with me. When it comes to Arlen's All Access, $1,000 a year, you could have that conversation with me for sure. Or you could have it with somebody who is actually a paying member who can tell you the good, the bad, the things to look forward to, the things that have, maybe changed over time that got better. And these are really active members. And I don't tell them anything about what to say. All I do is tell them this is how, the planning works. This is how you can use this. This is what is available. Like, there are payment plans available. You can send them to these payment plans. You can, you know, I don't say you have to say it's great. I don't say you have to tell them about this feature. I want it to be organic. So depending on who you get, you may get a different experience because It's completely authentic. I don't even look at like sales videos. I just say, go for it. I trust you. And if there's any problems, you know, the person on the other end can let me know. So, um, that's just something that I don't hear a lot of people doing right now, and I think it's super, 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 super interesting. I think it's going to make me a lot of money over the next 12 months, and I think it's going to bring in a lot of loyal customers, people who stay around for years because they're having their first experience with someone who's already doing what they're doing. So anyway, that's cool. All right. So then, um, the idea is, you've kind of created this machine. You've created this flywheel. These buzzwords we use, this jargon we use, but it's just true. You put a video up. Over time, you know what these videos are going to do for you. You know what you want them to do, what you need them to do. These videos are going to be helpful. 95% of the people who watch the videos are not going to be your customers. And maybe that's a different number, but 95, let's just say 95% will not be your customers. So you want to have something that is valuable to them that they can learn from. This is what this video is. For instance, right now, here's something you can do. I just told you the three things to kind of prepare. You're going to prepare what your topic will be, your hook, and then you're going to prepare some type of lead magnet for them for your first video or your 10th video, right? Another thing you can do today, right now, because the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go and rewind this and see what my hook was like, remember? But the thing you can do today is you can use Opus Clips. Have you heard of this? Opus Clips, you may have heard of it before, you may use it already. But Opus Clips does what wasn't happening, maybe a year ago. I wasn't seeing it. Where you copy the URL of your video, your YouTube video. You're supposed to do it for your videos, right? You paste it into Opus Clips. Make sure you click twice because sometimes it doesn't look, it looks like it's going, but it's not. So you click it and then you click it. And then in about 10 minutes, depending on how long that video is, it's going to spit out 10 to 20 60-second clips, 30-second clips. And they're going to have captions that you can edit. They're going to have a little bit of animation. You can do all kinds of stuff when you get really into it, like you can have B-roll and all that. But essentially, they're going to spit out shorts, reels, TikToks for you. So what happens is for anybody who's thinking like, I like this idea or I love this idea of YouTube, and I agree that I need to be doing that. But I already do TikTok and I already do Instagram and LinkedIn. And what am I supposed to add an entire another platform, especially one that's long form? Am I supposed to add that? Well, the cool thing is, it's the other way around. You post on YouTube and then you pull all of those clips and you repurpose it to these other channels that are more fleeting and short form and can be repurposed like on LinkedIn. Do you know what I do? I take a lot of my videos. I'll put them through rev.com, which does automated and non-automated, does transcription. So I'll take my own video, I'll download it, upload it to rev.com. Like I'll probably do it with this video. And then once it is in minutes giving me the transcript, I'll take the transcript to ChatGPT and I'll say, ChatGPT, I want you to deeply analyze this transcript from my last video, and I want you to repurpose it into a LinkedIn post in my voice. And I'll work with ChatGPT because it's not always perfect the first time out. It gives me enough paint on the canvas to use. I may use 70% of it, and the rest I work around. And there I have a LinkedIn post, and then I can actually post the video with it. Same thing for emails for my newsletters, or my email list. Same things for the caption of my Instagram posts. There's a lot of repurposing. that can be done. I post in different places, and YouTube is like the core, the engine. And it wasn't that way 16 months ago. Or yeah, for sure 16 months ago. It wasn't that way at all 16 months ago. It really became this maybe 8 months ago. And everything has changed. It's really important that you do this. And this is why I want to get this video out. I kind of jumped out of bed this morning and just said, I have to get this video out because I had 2 or 3 conversations yesterday at an event, um, one-on-one with people, and I'm like telling them this. And I'm like, I have to tell more people this because from the questions I was asked and that kind of like they were incredulous, they were like, unbelievable. I didn't even know this. From that reaction, it tells me that people don't know the power of YouTube. And for consultants, pardon my voice, for consultants and for people who are solo entrepreneurs who are making good money, you're making good money, and you know that if you just had more traffic and more very trusted leads, where it's like your ideal clients rather than just whoever may see your ad or whoever may be, around Instagram. If that would change your business, then we need to talk. We need to talk. You need to click through below this. And again, if you can't find it, leave a comment, let me know, and I'll reply to you. But click through, either say, I have $1,000 to spend this year on this. I'll give it a try, arlansallaccess.com. But you can click through the link below to speak with someone if you want, or talk to me if you're like, I love this, but I don't think I can do all this on my own. That's why I'm doing this. I'm only doing it with a handful of clients. I'll kind of shut it down in a few days. And then if it's available, when you see this, you'll see the link for it. If it's not, join Arlan's All Access, because I promise you it's a perfect place to start. It's a perfect place to start. Hundreds and hundreds of people are in there having results, and they're like you. I would say half are beginners and half are people who are like, no, I have experience. I make good money. I just want more of that. Okay. Hope this was helpful.